Hey friends, how's it going? Ash here. Welcome back to Extra Gent Sense. I hope that you're doing well. I figured today, let's do something a little more Momo-ish. Yeah. Let's go ahead and take that Momosity rating and just bump it up a couple notches. Today we're going to be taking a look at a few fragrances, body sprays, that are very, very affordable. That I'm pretty sure all of you have at least smelled at some point, if not worn or owned. We're talking about fragrances, body sprays from Axe, or depending on where you live, Lynx. We're gonna take a look at three of the big ones, or what I feel like personally are the big ones from Axe. First off, we have this one, Dark Temptation, which ran me $2.99. Very pricey, very expensive. What's the size on this? 4 ounces. Wow, that's a deal. And then we have this little beauty, Apollo, and this one also $2.99. And then last but definitely not least, again, $2.99 for this one, Phoenix. So that means I got 12 ounces of fragrance right here for $9. What a deal. Now at full retail, these are more expensive than $2.99. I bought mine at TJ Maxx, but I'm assuming that you should be able to find these at your local discount store as well for a similar price point. What do these things retail for? Looks like these retail for $7.29, at least around me. I guess that I will link these below, I guess, but it's Axe, man. You can find the stuff anywhere. Before we start talking about some wonderful, wonderful body spray, and I let you know what I think about these beautiful fragrances, here are a number of different codes that you can use if you shop online at places that unfortunately probably do not carry Axe. But if you shop at any of these fragrance websites for fragrances, not body spray, you can use these codes to save yourself some money. Let's go ahead and take a look at the presentation here, shall we? So all three of these have the same style of can. I will show you how they look as I go over these fragrances. You have on the front the name of the house and fragrance and size. It's a deodorant body spray, all day fresh with Phoenix here. I have a little info on the back. You have your batch code on the bottom there, and these you turn to open. Look at that. Wow. Amazing. Back in the day, way back in the day, they came with like a little cap that you would actually remove. Those are the ones that I owned and had. That was a while ago. Okay, don't judge me. Let's go ahead and spray some out. Here we go. Nice. That's a good atomizer. Strong. It's good. Ooh. I don't think you're supposed to smell Axe like that. God, that is concentrated. Ooh. I can feel it in my lungs. What are you doing, stepbrother? I can feel it in my lungs. So yeah, Phoenix, let's talk about this first. This is the one that I preferred back years ago. Now, I've always had fragrances, right? Not as many as I have now, but I always had some. But I also had a good amount of Axe. Yes, I did. And mainly because they were cheap. I mean, still are cheap. And so you had a big selection, you know, go into your local Walgreens or Walmart or any place that has Wall, apparently. And there would just be Axe everywhere. So many different ones that come out with new ones all the time. And it was like an easy way to have a collection of fragrant goods that would not cost you very much. And back when I was younger, it was pretty important because discounters were not really a thing, at least not that I was aware of. So if you wanted to buy a fragrance, you were going to your local department store and it was gonna cost you a pretty good amount. So yeah, Phoenix was one of my favorites. And again, holy crap, is it strong when you spray it like that. Like, this is now a weapon. This is weaponized Phoenix. It has the power of like just the funkiest animal barnyard butt oud, except it's Axe. So Phoenix, this has kind of an earthiness to it actually, but still is fresh. So it's interesting. Maybe like a bit of flintiness to it. Good amount of lavender. Lavender is gonna be one of the main things that you pop from this, like as soon as you spray it on. And that gives it a nice classic masculine feel to it. Decent little sweetness to the lavender as well. And then an overriding white musk. So you have kind of a juxtaposition there, a melding, a meeting of worlds, this clean white musk, and then this slightly flinty earthiness kind of combining with this sweeter lavender over top. Again, this one was always the one that I would go for, or at least more often, Phoenix. I'm not sure what exactly drew me to it back in the day. Interestingly enough, some people have drawn a comparison between this and green Irish tweed. Yeah, so maybe that's it. Because I love green Irish tweed. Love green Irish tweed. I don't really find it all that similar to GIT, but maybe in a way. Maybe if you stretch your imagination and think to yourself, what would green Irish tweed smell like if it were done on a budget of 5 cents and turned into a nuclear bomb body spray? Oh, it is that. Nice. Really though, Axe is not as bad as it will sometimes get flack for. I really don't think that it's like, you know, overly nasty or anything like that. I think the problem with it is the clientele sometimes. Don't take that as a shot if you really like Axe, but if, you know, you're one of those guys who doesn't shower and then they buy this for $2.99 and they're like, I don't need a shower. Bam, 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 and they go about their day. Yeah, that's not gonna be good. It's gonna be like Pavlov's dog, you know, they're gonna smell this and they're just gonna be conditioned to be like, oh God. That's Axe, isn't it? It's like people who, I don't know, have a moment where they drink too much of something when they're younger, whether it's like tequila or rum or whatever. And they have that moment where they've just drank too much and right? And then going forward, they can drink this, that, right? But then if they smell that one thing that sent them over the edge years ago, they'll be like, oh God, no, get it away from me. People can have that reaction to Axe if they have a bad experience with it. But in all honesty, for $3, $3, you see how stupid cheap that is. And 4 ounces, this stuff smells amazing at that price point. $3, oh, what a deal. I still like Phoenix though. It's very nostalgic for me. Legitimately, I don't mind the smell a bit. It reminds me of days gone by. I like it. Now let's do Apollo. Also, all day fresh. Dark Temptation is all day fresh. They're all day fresh. So Apollo is a very obvious take on another fragrance. Phoenix actually is a little more unique, I guess you could say, as far as body spray goes. Apollo, it smells like Fierce or Legend from Mont Blanc. So again, lavender gonna be one of the main things that comes out here, just like Phoenix. But in Phoenix, it's a very different style of lavender. Here, it is very much, as I said, in the vein, in the style of Fierce, which was enormous when it came out. So it makes sense that Axe would be like, well, let me get in on that. You have a little fruitiness in here, some woodiness underneath, very clean, very fresh. Actually, between these two, I think that Apollo is a little bit fresher, maybe even slightly more youthful than Phoenix, which is funny because we're talking about Axe body spray, but still. This is roasting the inside of my nose, actually. Again, these are really, really strong, and I think I'm starting to go nose blind. I can feel the inside of my nose tingling. It is a very odd feeling. Apollo, I don't mind. Honestly, I don't. It smells like a cheap Legend, but yeah, it's not too bad. Again, for $3, we're rating on a curve here, okay? If that were $15, I'd be like, oh no, sir, but $3. What can you get for $3? Let's do Dark Temptation now. This little chocolatey boy. Oh no, it won't stop. It malfunctioned. Very chocolatey. I don't know that I would wear this as all day fresh. No, but if you want to smell like melted milk chocolate, it's pretty much like that. You also have little vanilla in here, tiny touch of fruit, but mainly it's the chocolate. Yeah, it's mainly an almost edible chocolate note. It's simple, very simple, but it smells attractive. Attractive. What? Dark Temptation, what are you doing to me? Yeah, I don't know, it just smells like some chocolate you would eat. That's pretty much it, but it smells well done. And actually, again, for $3 fragrance. And actually, of these three, this is probably the least body spray-ish. So by that, I mean, when you spray Apollo or Phoenix on, and I would say it's most prominent in Phoenix of these, but when you spray these on, they have a certain Axe feeling to them. Right, where even if it was very strong, comparable to like Sauvage Elixir, okay? When somebody walks by you and they have on a fragrance, like a proper fragrance, even if it's really strong, unless it's just some straight garbage, you can smell it and be like, oh, okay. You know, it's got like a certain quality to it, right? Where you can tell it's a fragrance. When you walk by with Axe and you smell it, it has a body spray je ne sais quoi. You can just tell. That's not a great descriptor, I know, but just around the edges, this sort of like blurred fuzziness that you get from body sprays, you can tell it's a body spray. So I guess to describe that a little further, you can think of it like painting or something visual. So if you have on a fragrance, even if it's quite strong, as long as the quality is decent, you can make out different aspects of the fragrance that make it a whole, right? So if you're looking at a painting, for example, you can see clearly defined how well the fragrance was done. Even if it was in like a very abstract art style, you can still be like, oh, I see what's going on here. With body spray, it's almost like there is a film put over it that blurs everything. So instead of being able to smell it in this example and really dissect it and be like, oh, okay, yeah, I see what's going on. It's like kind of get walloped with this just overall fuzziness, right? Like there's a static that is there, and then the fragrance is trying to work through the static, but it brings a lot of that static forth into your nose when you smell it, which is why when I was smelling it like this, my nose hairs were tingling and kind of going overdrive because they were like, what is this? Dark Temptation is the smoothest of the three. Not really close. It's also very simple. It's like chocolate, but it is the smoothest. Phoenix is doing something to me. I have nostalgia, and then at the same time, when I smell it up close and it's like on that tester strip, I just kind of recoil in horror. It's like, oh God, I hope nobody ever smelled that coming off me that strongly. I think maybe in moderation, if you were gonna wear these nowadays, man, just very moderate. Moderate. Not too much, not too much. It's starting to give me a headache already, actually. Yeah, actually, the longer this video comes on, the more I'm hating them. I started off like, man, it's nostalgic. Oh, these are not too bad, $3. And as time goes on, I'm like, my frontal lobe is about to explode, and God, these smell awful. Okay, they're not as bad as a lot of people say, but Lord help you if you go heavy with these. Do not do it. It is assaultingly just, I don't get headaches from fragrances, you know? I don't, but I think these sprayed on heavily would do it. I think they would. I can feel it behind my eyes. Axe, I love it. So there we go, Phoenix, Apollo, Dark Temptation. Out of these three, nostalgia tells me that I like Phoenix the most. As far as just ease of use, Dark Temptation, probably the least aggressive of the bunch, and the chocolate smells nicer than everything else. But as far as just going for like a fresh, easy wearing kind of body spray, I think Apollo would be the best. It's gonna give you something very similar to Legend or Fierce. Yeah, it's a tried and tested DNA, so can't really hate on that too much. I've smelled it far too many times over the years, but it's pleasant. So there we go. Axe. I'm throwing those tester strips away. I'm probably never gonna smell these again, so goodbye, Sweet Prince. I had really bad taste when I was wearing you, but I still love you. See you guys later. Stay safe out there.